Hello, Wanderland. I'm Kelly, coming to you from the woods behind my house, which is nice. And today is January 1st, 2023, New Year's Day. So I thought it might be a good time to kind of reintroduce myself, talk a little bit about what this channel is supposed to be and where I hope it goes. And yeah, maybe set some goals for the year. Let's do it. So, first things first, I want to welcome and thank all of my new subscribers. The R7 review video that I posted a few weeks ago somehow got a lot of views, and I got a pretty good amount of new subscribers from that. I'm I'm still under 100, but I'm getting close to 100, and that's exciting. I'm super stoked. So, welcome, thank you if you're watching this. Hopefully, yeah, really excited about that. So like I said, I'm Kelly. I am 47 as this year begins. Florida native, but we've been living here in the Richmond, Virginia area for the last 2.5 years or so. And I'm loving it. Florida was beautiful, of course, but here we have actual seasons, like winter, which is not that pretty right now, but it's here. Yeah, and I'm surrounded by nature and history in this area, which are two things that I really like. So that works for me. I tell people we're 2 hours from the beach, 2 hours from the mountains, 2 hours from Washington, D.C. Great location. So yeah, really liking that. I'm married. I have 3 girls, all between 12 and 18 years old. And we do stuff together as a family, but I'm not really a religious guy. And the church, my church, is this. So the wilderness, the nature, the forests. So I tend to try to get out and wander on my own a lot of the times, which is kind of how I like it. Go at my own pace, linger where I want to, take as many photos as I can. And if I have a bad time, I'm the only one to blame. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. So, Wanderland really started out as my kind of a blog site where I would post travelogues and still photos only. Yeah, and I didn't do much with it really, and it obviously never went anywhere until a couple years ago, I started watching more YouTube videos myself, and I got to thinking, you know what? I could probably do that. So here I am. Still fairly new. Coming from still photography, video is still kind of a new beast to me. I mean, a lot of the concepts and principles are the same, of course, but as far as shooting and editing and thinking about the things that make a good video, that's all a bit new to me still, and I'm learning. So I apologize for the rough edges, but it's part of why we're here, so we can all get better at that. And that's really the plan, right? So I still want to share my wanderings. That's kind of the whole point. But I definitely want to focus more, pun intended, on helping you guys create your own content as well, because that really seems to be where the interest is. It's a lot easier to do these days, creating one's own content. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I'm certainly enjoying it. So that's what we'll do. So more gear stuff, more photo tips, more photo exercises and videography stuff, hopefully, as we go along. So if that sounds good, you're in the right place. And over here, actually, we have our local friendly neighborhood fox den. Pan down here. Last year, I know there was a family of foxes that lived here, so they might still be around, but they took a couple of our chickens out of the backyard, so we're a bit more careful about that these days. I don't see anybody right now. Birds. So that kind of brings me to my goals for the new year. I don't really like the idea of New Year's resolutions, just because any time is a good time to make a new goal or set some targets for yourself. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. But I do have some in terms of photography for the channel, just generally, so let's hit those. So number one, less HDR. I've been a still photographer for a long time, and for a lot of years I kind of relied too much on HDR, high dynamic range images, where you take a few exposures and stack them together, and I kind of realized that it's not necessary for most scenes to do that. It was just kind of a shortcut to the processing style that I liked. So yeah, I've been working to learn instead of doing the HDR thing, learn to process better in Lightroom, which is what I typically use, and some other software that I've been trying out that I'll talk more about hopefully as the channel goes on. But yeah, that's number one. I did better last year. I think when I put my top 100 together, about 20 something of the images were HDR, whereas before it would have been closer to 80% probably. So yeah, getting better, but I definitely want to just get out of the habit of shooting HDR brackets, unless the situation actually calls for it, which there are some, but generally speaking, not everything needs to be HDR, so yeah. Second, I guess I would say I want to be more conscious about my photography and videography, and how I learn from it, right? So it's easy to go out and snap photos and videos and not really think about it, but I want to, especially as I try new things, I just want to think more about it, think more about my composition, exposure settings, all that stuff. Is that the more you think about it, the more you learn from it, and that's the idea. And I've always liked setting little challenges for myself, like going out with a single prime lens, only extreme focal lengths, like really wide or really long, and that kind of forces you to think more about how you compose things and what details you look for. Yeah, and just puts you in a different mindset. So I'm hoping to do more of that this year and share that with you guys, so you can hopefully try it yourself and follow along. Maybe we can share in. I used to have a little photographic community called Shutterbuggery, which I thought was a fun name. But yeah, we would kind of start out with a challenge, like show me a 50 millimeter shot of whatever, and people would chime in with their own and kind of snowball on each other, and tag on where one image would spur the next. So that was fun. I don't know if that's something you can do with a YouTube channel, but maybe we can try. I would enjoy that. And speaking of learning, I've been a serious stills photographer for 17 years now, something like that, 17, 18 years. And I've still got loads to learn, right? So new techniques, new gear stuff. I want to do more, really try more astrophotography, storm photography, things like that. Focus stacking, I want to find a good workflow for that, because it's not something I've tried a lot because it's not that easy. Macro, I love macro, but I want to get more into that, doing it with more focus and applying more skills and gear to it, frankly. So yeah, and birds in flight. I love to shoot birds, but I tend to do a lot of bird on a stick stuff because that's the easiest. But those tend to look a little boring. So yeah, I definitely want to get more action shots, birds in flight, things like that. So those are all techniques that you can think about and focus on, and really make a concerted effort to get better at. So that's the plan, and I hope you'll all come along. Speaking of macro, there's this nice fallen log with a bunch of fungus and ferns around it. I'm thinking that might make for a few good macro shots right now. Let's see. So back to goals. There's my drone and videography. So I love my drone. I'm shooting a Mini 3 Pro right now, which is excellent. And just the leaps that drone technology has taken in the past few years are just blowing my mind. So love my drone, but I feel like I'm still not real good at it. I'm certainly not real confident when I go out with it. So I really want to focus on that more, fly more thoughtfully and learn so I feel confident. I'd like to get my Part 107 certification as well, so if the opportunity ever came to shoot some paid drone work or sell some of my drone footage, I could do so. That'd be great. And then videography, of course. I feel like I'm getting a little better at it as the channel goes, but again, I need to be present and shoot more thoughtfully so that I can, learn from that. Like the sun behind me right now, probably not a great idea unless I can block it with my big head. Yeah, but anyway, drone, video, more of that. Another reason I'm out filming today is to try out this little camera that I'm filming on right now, which is a DJI Action 3. Thought I'd add an action camera to the bag so that I can do stuff if I get more into mountain biking, maybe. Bad idea at my age, but you never know. But kayaking, I would love to be able to dip the camera underwater sometimes. So that's what this is for. So I'm doing a little test footage today. I just got it a couple days ago. I haven't really tested it, so see how this looks and sounds, hopefully. And more to come on this camera, if it's any good. Okay. And then there's Wanderland itself, of course, this channel that you are currently watching. Like I said, I've been thrilled with my little bit of growth in the past month or so. Getting close to 100 subscribers, which is awesome. It's tiny still, I know, but I started at 0, so it's awesome. Super excited about that. I would love to set a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. Why not? Do I want to monetize the channel? Sure, if it's possible. Totally. I'm not going to turn into some crazy selling stuff left and right channel, but if it could give me a little more money towards new gear, I'm okay with that. Hopefully you like what you're seeing enough. If you subscribed, again, thank you. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, do what the kids say and smash that button. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I thank you for being here. I'm just out here doing what I love, and if I can bring any of you along with me and teach you some stuff along the way, hopefully, that's what it's all about. That's Wanderland. And lastly, as far as goals go, kind of my personal goal for the year. I'm sure you've noticed the world could use a bit more kindness, generally speaking. Especially online. It's easy to be ugly, right? So I just kind of want to seek out opportunities, both online and in real life, to be kind this year. I think that's sorely needed. So, yeah, if I can help somebody get a box down from a high shelf in the store, I'll do that. Yeah, little things. Little things go a long way, I think. So I encourage you all to look for opportunities to be kind as well. That sounds cheesy. Okay, that's what Wanderland's about too. Cheese. And yeah, that's about it. Happy New Year. If you're still watching, thank you. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you give me a like and a subscribe, thank you again. Yeah, it's hoping, I've got some high hopes for this year. Hoping 2023 is going to be pretty good. So If you'll come along with me, I would love it. Drop me a comment. Get in touch. Yeah, all that good stuff. So I will use my usual goodbye. So be nice to yourself. Take care of each other. Don't forget to be awesome. Get out and wander. Happy New Year.